Hi and welcome to another episode of The Grind. My name is Violet Njaki. Well, today we're doing things a little bit different. I have my expert of the day with me, but before we go there, we need to understand what is happening now with the hike in fuel prices. How have businesses being affected rather, and what is the take that business people should take so that they can ensure that they're okay to continue with business without the repercussions of I may need to close down in a minute or two. But before we go there, let's get our business update of the week.
Welcome to the Business Update, where we get to look at the news making headlines in the business desk. Now, in the international business arena, the World Bank warns of rising recession risks due to the insane inflation rates that have been fueled by the COVID-19 pandemic that the world is still recovering from and the Russian-Ukraine war. The World Bank president, David Malpass, said in a statement,
"Global growth is slowing sharply, with further slowing likely as more countries fall into recession. My deep concern is that these trends will persist, with long-lasting consequences that are devastating for people in emerging markets and developing economies."
He has encouraged policymakers to shift their focus from reducing consumption to boosting production. Moving on to the local business news, Kenyans are feeling the pinch of the recently increased fuel prices, with the super petrol increasing by 20.18 Kenya shillings, which is a rise to 179 Kenya shillings, and diesel has increased to 25 Kenya shillings, that is 165 Kenya shillings at the moment, and kerosene with 20 Kenya shillings, that is 147 Kenya shillings at the moment. Lastly, on the 1st of October, KRA will effect the increased excise rates on various accessible goods and services that will see a hike in prices in products like nicotine, SIM cards, motorcycles, bottled water, and even fruit juice.
Well, that is the update that we had for you here. And before we even continue, I need Adams to explain to us now that the EPRA has risen the price of fuel. We are at around 179 when it comes to super petrol, 165 when it comes to diesel, and 147 when it comes to kerosene. Now, this is a hike that we expected. Now, considering the subsidies that we had, now imetolewa. What do we expect as business people? What do we expect now that everything now is on a hike? What do we expect? Hi, Tuva.
Hello?
Yes, so I'm asking now that the price of fuel has risen.
So basically, what you're expecting is that?
Yes, what are we expecting?
You with me?
Yes.
Yeah. So with the increase in fuel and prices and other items, you realize that there's a bit of uncertainty. Right, people are a bit panicky. People are trying to, hold on to the resources, figure out, okay, how long will this take?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, a bit of uncertainty, in the market, with citizens holding on to their money.
Yeah, but even with that, we can see that the president of the World Bank is quite concerned on the countries falling into recession, because we do not know, with the war in Ukraine, everything is on a rise, and still we need to continue with business. So he's concerned about the recession. Should we, as the normal Mwananchi, also be concerned that it may get to a point that we cannot do this anymore when it comes to business, when it comes to running an entity? Should we be concerned as well?
Basically, for any business or anywhere you see in the world, when one part of the world is on fire, you also feel the heat in some way.
Yes.
So we should be concerned in a way, but no one should really panic. Panic not really. Basically it burns everything. So I don't feel people should panic, but we should be able to prepare, and the government needs to put structures in place to ensure that we are actually, managing those kind of impacts coming in.
Okay, thank you so much, Tuva. But we're going to continue this conversation. But before we do, we are going to take a short break, and with that, we get the business of the week as well, so that we can get to see what business is coming through and our business quote.
Our business quote of the day:
Motivation is the catalyzing ingredient for every successful innovation. Clayton Christensen.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories. Disability is not only limited to physical disorder, but also mental issues.
Queen Elizabeth II's final journey. Crowds line the long walk as Queen Elizabeth II's coffin make its way through London for the final send-off. Also tonight, MPs contemplating to reintroduce allowances that was scrapped off by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission.
My leadership will ensure that we facilitate you to discharge some of these unexpected demands from the public.
Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Wetangula says he is already holding talks with the SRC. Plus, MPs yet to agree on who has the majority in the House.
Ask Azimio, are they a coalition of political parties or are they a political party? Do they have the highest number of seats? Do they even have a member of parliament under Azimio?
The question of Azimio being the majority coalition in the National Assembly is already settled by the Constitution, the statutes.
Speaker Moses Wetangula is set to make a determination. And 5 people confirmed dead, 9 others hospitalized after consuming illicit liquor in Isiolo County.
Hii tuko na watatu ambao wako kwa hospitali, but the others is stable condition, although wana complain hawaoni vizuri, but we hope wataweza kuendelea vizuri.
Sanura amerudi kwa wale wasiojua. Mtu yeyote
Disability is not only limited to physical disorder, but also mental issue. From depression,
I was under depression for like 2 years.
Bipolar.
Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder.
And even suicidal thoughts.
When I was just about to hang myself, a certain voice just talked to me, and I believe that was God. I tried suicide more than 6 times.
Beyond the Limit has gone beyond its limit to find answers so as to help everyone go through life with ease. Join Muthoni Maina every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Starting this September at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, The Realtor brings it all to perspective. We identify a property, discuss and demonstrate the journey towards ownership.
Professionals who have integrity, and from their catalog you can easily read that.
And that is why we sort out an industry where we get to see how you look when it comes to the shoes, to the shorts, to the shirt, but when in form of sportswear. And that is why I'm joined by Mr. Karim today. I'm going to let him introduce himself so that he can tell us what his business is all about, and then we can go on from there. Well, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, of course, it was a pleasure. My name is Karim Montasser. I'm a Kenya country operation manager of RA Sport company. RA Sport company is a big group, Egyptian group in Egypt. We have more than 17 brands in Egypt, more than 120 stores in all over Egypt. Wow. Yes, we have operation in Sudan since 2008. In Uganda also we have operation since 2016. And we opened here in Kenya 2020. After COVID is open. Yes.
You opened after COVID?
Yes, in tough time, but we have to because we believe in Kenyan market. So we decided to open here since November 2020. We need the lockdown is done, and after we open directly, and here we now.
Okay, so your business all about sportswear.
Yeah.
But do you get your products from within the country, or you have to import them?
No, I have to import them. Our products come from Dubai, from Gabal Ali. It's also come from Mombasa, I think, within 7 days from Gabal Ali. And
7 days?
Yes, only 7 days. So there's access to Mombasa, and after Mombasa, even our product in Uganda, they also coming from through Mombasa.
Also, even to Uganda, have to come through the port.
Yeah, and support, and after we go there. So you know, because of that, I told you the Kenya it's a hub.
Kenya is a hub. Be proud of yourselves.
Of course. So everyone, if you want to come in East Africa, you have to through us Mombasa. You know?
Yeah. Okay, so as an import business, because of having to import your shoes and bringing them here, do you have like a step that you have to take to ensure that your products get here? Like, do you have a checkbox like buy them, then they come to the port, then you bring them here?
Yes,
do you have a step
of course.
by step?
So when you already choose your product from Dubai, you have to make it like a process for logistic to come to here like 7 days and make access. It should be like you make like IDF certificate, and after COC, like something like related to logistic. And after when your products already live here in Kenya, so you just release. It's a challenge, the timing, you know. Because of that, maybe I always speak with KRA people to make it like fast, because when as soon as possible they already finish the release and the process, and the products come to the product, I can sell it them. So after the process of the cycle, money is already move on. So I can rent I pay for rent, I buy the salary, even the tax, everything. So as I really told them like this, as soon as you finish, as soon I already sell, and already I order again and bring it more product. So it's like we are like partnership, you know, all of us in like one boat. So like a cycle, you know, when I finish, he deliver to me, I finish, I deliver to customer, and it's like this.
It's like a cycle, like from the shop, from the importers to the port, from the port carrier clears to you, you sell. So
like this, we just need as soon as fast we can make more business, you know.
So as an import company, basically, are there licenses that you need, considering you're not buying your products from the country? Are there licenses that you need because yours come from outside?
Because you know, we are an Egyptian company, but if we have like Egyptian product, it will be easy because zero tax and the commerce certificate, the commerce committee is easy. But our products coming from all over the world, you know. Puma is like German brand, so we have factories all over the world. So it's coming. Collected all of them in Jabal Ali in Dubai, and after they coming to us. So like this you have to make it. But we already established Kenyan companies here, yes, and the reason for all licenses to make it easy for everyone, you know.
So considering that you're a sportwear company, and we can see a lot of shops also having sportwear in Kenya, but you never know which is the right outfit for you, because you're like, okay, is this legit? Is this counterfeit? So how are you able to stand out so that a client can know my product is legit, but that is counterfeit? How do you tell the difference?
You know, you will be wondered, because you know the Kenyan customers is already well educated. Because the lifestyle here is a sports. The people here wake up from 4 a.m. and first story in the gym 5 a.m. So the Kenyan customer or the Kenyan community here is already well educated about sports products. So when customer come, tell me I want shoes for running, and you have like, but I speak about Puma now is because it's international brand, so you have a specific shoes for each activity. So when you come to tell me I want shoes for running, it's which running? It's short running or running on treadmill and gym. We have
there are different shoes for the different.
Of course, because and even the running in Karura now, in Karura Forest, even the specific shoes. At least also because we have technology in the shoes. We spend so much money for that, in the technology and the R&D. So if you have issue about your ankle, about your knee, I can product. So I can recommend it for you, shoes to protect your knee or your ankle or like this. Even especially if your age is big or old, you know, you have to make it like this, careful. So because of that, when you have. But our team here have so much knowledge about the shoes, especially, and about the technology, about the feature of the shoes. So when you come, I can recommend it to you, depend our feature of the shoes. So of that, because I have to tell the people here, or my team, to make it like, please recommend for me shoes for which activity and be specific, and they will come recommend it for you. Depend your features about if you have injury in body like this, especially also in specific activity like running, short running, marathon. because of that. And Kenya, they have so much athletics, you know.
Yes.
10 last Olympics, they have 10 golden medal.
Yeah.
It's famous city for athletics like Eldoret. So.
Yeah, we brag about that.
Yes, of course, of course. Because of that, we come in right time to have so much athletics here, and they already have like golden medals. You have to provide them with like products they have already can help them. So, you know, they can make this without tools. This is our tools, you know, the product. They can help them like this.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for telling us about your wonderful business. And I hope that more clients continue to walk in, because Kenya is an athletic country.
Yeah. We have that. We're really proud of this. Kenya, really, we really I teach them now, because already I adapt about the Kenya community now. I started to wake up early like Kenya.
Generally, just adopting slowly.
You know, we go to gym every day. Already the Karura Forest in weekend. So I've become Kenyan now, pure.
You're basically Kenyan now. Thank you so much, Mr. Karim.
It was a pleasure.
Welcome back to The Grind. For those who missed the first part, my name is Violet Njoki, and I'm joined by our very own Tuva Adams. Tuva, talking about how the economy is being affected with the rise of fuel prices. Even the war in Ukraine continues to affect his business people. But our business of the week this time was all about imports, because it's a businessman who imports his goods to come and sell to the people. So our discussion today will basically be on the import and copyright issues. So when it comes to copyright, Tuva, what are patent rights or copyrights? When we say patent rights, what are we talking about, considering that you're also a businessman as well?
So patenting is mostly based on ideas. So I'm thinking of maybe developing a phone that can also charge my laptop. So, you know, those are basically new ideas. So when you get a new idea, or when you have be able to develop maybe a new manufacture, you want to manufacture something different, as long as you can go in and say, I want to do A, B, C, D, right? People, for example, in Kenya, you're allowed to have people like Kipi take your ideas, as long as you can explain how it works, right? Able to say, okay, fine, this is my intellectual property, kindly protect it. So basically how it works. For copyrights, for example, if you have a new audio, new music, painting, you're able to protect it in basically a certain way, and you can also use other institutions in the country to assist you with that. So most of these guys, or most of these institutions, work hand in hand, both local and international. So, like, for example, if you upload a video on YouTube that is infringing on someone's copyright, audio, music, they'll basically pull it down on their behalf, as long as someone has complained about it. So it's you basically do it in your country, but an international network which allows you or protects you with now when your work is being infringed in other countries.
But can we say that you have copyright even in goods as well? Because I know you can say, these are the goods that I bring into the country as Violet, and I'm getting, or rather I'm making as Violet. When I put them under my name, is that copyright or is that patenting?
That would be patenting. And patent, realize it's not for life, it's just a period of time. So they'll say, okay, fine, we'll allow you to manufacture this exclusively, right, for this period of time. When that period is done, it's basically free for all, right? So people are usually just there waiting for the period to expire, and immediately it expires, someone goes in and now starts doing the exact same thing that you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that you've talked about the patenting, rather, when we get our business of the week, Mr. Karim, he imports shoes, or rather goods from outside the country. They come into the country. But as Kenya, we can see that there are other counterfeit things going into the market. What are why are imitations being allowed to be brought into the country, considering we know they are originals? And how does this affect a business that brings in originals? And how does it affect the one that has the counterfeit?
So this is where the government comes in, and it does have bodies which go through cargo. It even does on-spot checks in some of the businesses. So this is purely government facilitated process. So only thing that you can do as a business is just make a complaint. Yeah, say that okay, now brand is XYZ. It's in a number of places, including this particular country. I don't believe someone should be able to develop a fake and benefit from a brand product. So once you raise those complaints, then the government will now pick that.
Yeah.
Right? Basically, it now becomes a legal process. Yeah.
So when it goes to the legal process, are you allowed as a business, considering that you bring out the original products, are you allowed as a business to sue the businesses that bring in counterfeit?
I'm not so sure about that. I think I might have to do a bit of research on that. But what I do know is that the government penalizes you, right? It penalizes. It basically takes the items from you and also yes.
So now with the new excise duty increase, it's around 6.3%, and some products that we use in the Kenyan market are mostly from import. Now, and our business of the week, Mr. Karim also imports his goods. So with the 6.3% increase means that even for him, the goods that he sells, he'll need to increase in prices. How do you ensure that I am still safe as a business, that even with the increase because this is something that is affecting worldwide, not only the country as well, but for the 6.3% is the Kenyan market. So this means that the price of increase in goods, how do you ensure as a business that even with such a high jump, I'm still safe to continue penetrating the market in the business that I'm doing?
Basically, what you normally get is the market stabilizes on their own. You don't need to try any tricks or play around with the figures or whatever. So basically, when you say I'm selling this bag of rice at 10 shillings,
yes,
right, and someone else sells it at maybe 9 shillings, you realize the market will go to the 9 shillings person or the 9 shilling business, depending on tea and so many other things. So there's really not so much you can do. A bit of excitement initially, because no one really knows where the middle line is.
Yes.
But with time, the market automatically stabilizes. There's an invisible hand which just plays around and makes sure that it's well balanced. So within maybe in a few weeks or a few months, everything was automatically just normalized.
Now, you've talked about maybe in a few months we may stabilize. The new government has removed the subsidy. And this means that the amount of money that the government was giving to these companies falls off. What is a subsidy for someone in layman's language? What is a subsidy, and of what help was it to the business people or even to the businesses that rely on the government support?
A subsidy is a way for the government to give a discount to anything. So they can decide to give a discount or, just, it's basically, for example, if you were to buy rice at a supermarket for maybe 200 bob, and then government tells the supermarket that, okay, instead of selling to our people at 200 shillings, sell to them at 100 shillings. The difference we will pay you directly.
As the government.
Exactly. So this arrangement with some of the suppliers to ensure that their people do not feel so much impact on some of the items. Yeah.
So when it comes to the imports industry, how beneficial is it to a country's economy, considering that exports bring in the foreign exchange? But how important is it, how important or beneficial is the import industry to the Kenyan market?
It's all a balance, yeah. It's all a balance. You realize we need each other. For example, we do have guys who produce a lot of oil, and they're able to supply us with oil. We are not a very rich oil country, but we do produce other things.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, we rely on each other in terms of import and export. Yeah. So it's just a supply and demand kind of balance, right? Yeah. So it's a very important part of any government. It stabilizes the GDP, yeah, it's basically ensures that, you know, our economy is run.
Yeah. So as a business person who is in the import industry or things that need copyright and patenting, how can one manage the copyright protected works to ensure that my business is safe, safe away from the counterfeit and all that? How do I ensure that I'm safe to continue with business at any given time, that I'm not afraid of the fact that someone may come in and say, you know what, this is my work, Violet. You're getting much from something that I've done. How do you ensure that I have managed the copyright of my protected works?
So what happens is it's very basic. For example, in Kenya we have KIPI, right? So when you start putting your work patented or copyright with KIPI, you tell them, they'll tell you, okay, but there may be X number of categories you can patent.
Yes.
So depending on your resources and what you want to hold on to, they'll give you the different options, right? And they'll tell you, man, here you're protecting this. At this point you're protecting this. So depending on what you want to protect, right? You're able to, you know, protect. Yeah. So basically that is the only way to do it. So for example, someone might want to patent a name, and the name has a color. You can just say, I want to patent the name without the color. People just say, okay, fine, we just want to patent the color alone on this particular name. So depending on which classes you're trying to protect, yourself from, then you're able to pay for the right classes, and it's for KIPI to enforce that copyright or that trademark or that, you know, whatever you're doing.
Okay. So as we wind up, Tuva, what advice would you have for someone who is in the business of imports and exports?
I feel you must choose the right item. And the problem is such businesses, import, export, it's a seasonal, it might be a seasonal thing, right? Some businesses are seasonal. So you need to be careful to know that maybe this was the right time, this is where to exit. Maybe I need to start importing this particular item because my country has given subsidies that particular item. So depending on what you're doing, it's very flexible kind of business. You need to know when to start, what ends. You know, yeah. Basically, that's what I would advise.
Okay, thank you so much, Tuva, for your insights on the import and export industry, and also insights on what happens now that mafuta imefika kwenye tulikuwa tafikiria haitafika. Thank you so much. We hope to sit down with you again as we talk about another industry. Well, guys, that is all we had for you here today on The Grind. Remember, talk to us on 22047 or TV47KE on all social media platforms, Violet Njoki, all social media platforms, and tell us which industry do you want